Infinite Crisis Protectors, welcome to another exciting developer stream today. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
We're excited.
We are very excited.
This is it. It's what you've been waiting for. It's ranked. I just channel IC Rex there for a brief shining moment.
Yeah, you got about 30% of the way there.
I know, but I don't want to blow up my voice in 10 seconds.
And damage the equipment anymore.
And damage the equipment. Well, we have a compressor now. That's what Buddy told me. This is why I can scream. And it doesn't actually blow out everyone's baby ears on Twitch.
All right, that's good. That's good.
I'm really excited about that. Guys, welcome to today's stream. I'm Serafina Brennan. I'm the community manager here for Infinite Crisis, and otherwise known as Celestrata. You might see me on the forums from time to time, or all the time. Next to me, right here, is lead game designer IC10's Ryan Bednar. Ryan, how you doing today?
I'm doing great today.
See, I gave you the introduction. I said I wouldn't do it. I said I'd make you introduce yourself. But I did it out of the kindness of my soul.
I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. For those of you who haven't joined us before, Ryan, what do you do here besides everything?
Well, I'm the lead designer on the game.
Yeah.
So I work basically on a little bit of everything that comes into making Infinite Crisis.
Right.
So
just all
few
in
things
there.
here and there. I go to a lot of meetings.
That's pretty much what we all do, actually.
Yeah.
I was looking down my iPad here. I'm like, oh, what's going on today? Meetings. Post
I don't go to many meetings.
Meetings. Buddy the Hand does not go to meetings, apparently.
Hey, rank stream, though.
Rank stream. That's where we're at.
That's why we're here right now.
That's why we're here. That's what you want to see. I don't even know what the chat's saying because we're blind from chat right now.
Can't even see it.
So you could guys be freaking out right now, and I won't even know it. So I'm just like calmly delay even further and watch you guys rage slowly in the chat right now. No, Ranked is coming out very soon. Very soon.
It's coming out within 2 weeks.
That's really soon, actually.
Very soon.
So we're actually happy to provide a first look today at the system, what it looks like, what it does, how it functions, how you get into it. But it also
they know a little bit about that right now.
I was about to say they've gotten the bare bones of what you need to get into ranked. And what are they? What do you need to do right now?
So yeah, the two requirements are you need to have unlocked 14 champions. I'm going to say the number 5, but I really mean.
Wait. 5 plus 4. Come on, 4. You can do this. There you go.
Here we go. 14 champions.
Teamwork right here.
And you need to have played 20 PvP matches on Coast City.
Right.
Those are the two requirements for getting into ranked. We're not changing them with the next update either. That's how they're going to be for a very long time.
Right. And I mean, there's two reasons for that, right? So the first one is the 20 PvP matches to make sure you're solid with our PvP system, right?
Yeah. You have some familiarity with the champions that are in our game. You played Coast City in PvP, and you understand kind of the basic ins and outs of how to play that particular map. Mm-hmm. And you have general familiarity with the mechanics of Infinite Crisis that are different than other MOBAs that are out there.
Right. And now the 14 unlocked champions, of course, means that you need to have 14 because it's mathematically impossible for you to be in ranked otherwise. There's 10 champions.
Well, you can't play draft mode.
Draft mode, which is we're going to get to that in a minute.
Yes,
you can't play draft in our game.
Which is fairly synonymous with our ranked mode.
With our ranked mode. So ranked will only be draft.
It will only be draft.
We'll be talking about that very soon, as a matter of fact. Very soon. So, guys, let's actually go over to what you're going to be seeing the first time you log in after update 1.3, which is going to contain ranked mode. That is the name of the update. And the first thing you're going to get is a very nice splash screen. I think we have that splash screen. There it is.
There it is.
Boom! Exciting.
What's it say?
It says Ranked Play is live.
Yes.
Is it live?
Not right now.
So when will it be live? Officially, when will
Officially,
Ranked be live?
It is going live May 8th. That's Friday, May 8th.
I know that seems a little weird for you protectors. I know we normally update on a Wednesday, but for this time, we're going to be updating on a Friday. Exciting times.
Yep, we'll be patching Friday morning, and what we have planned for that weekend is a preview weekend of Ranked.
Okay.
Now, you might hear preview and think, oh man, like what is this? Is it going away?
Yeah.
The only guaranteed downtime that we're going to have after the preview weekend is going to be that Monday.
Right.
We're going to have Ranked up all of Friday, all of Saturday, all of Sunday. You'll be able to get in, play as many matches as you want.
Yep.
And then we're basically going to circle the wagons that Monday internally, review how the matchmaking went, review how the ranked system was performing overall, and just see if there's anything last minute that we want to change about it.
Right.
We've done a lot of internal testing on Ranked, and all of it's gone really, really well. The big thing is that we can never know exactly how it's going to behave at scale. We get thousands and thousands of players in there.
Right.
We don't know until we do that to see if there's anything weird that's going to happen with it. So we're just giving ourselves one guaranteed day to basically regroup and assess how it's all worked out.
Right.
And then we'll turn it on as soon as possible afterwards.
Now, normally, turning ranked on and off doesn't actually incur any downtime for us.
Yep.
We can do it without downtime.
Yep, there
However,
won't be
on
any downtimes associated with it.
Monday, we will have downtime, though, anyway. Unfortunately, there's some WB Play maintenance, and we rely on WB Play maintenance systems, so we'll be taking a downtime on Monday anyway.
We will have non-ranked related downtime.
We will get non-ranked related downtime, but we're bringing
But it's
it down
good
at the same
that we're
time.
kind of doing those things at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
The goal is for us to bring it up as soon as possible afterwards. It could go up that night if everything looks like it's fine.
Exactly, and then ranked will be available for henceforth. But we want to take a look at the system, see how it performs at scale, and if we want to make any changes, like Ryan just said, we need to have the time to make those changes.
Yep.
So I think this gives you a nice overview of what ranked is. By the way, that's really nice art.
That is fantastic art.
I've never seen that art before.
Our art team is amazing.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you can see for yourself. Here we have esports crypto hanging out with a deck star.
You also like in esports deck star.
In esports deck star, and they're clearly playing a match together. A deck star is the Red Lantern cat.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, and
which
you
there's
should
probably
know.
But there's probably a lot of people that don't know.
Probably. Well, those who don't see Christina every day probably don't know that there's a Red Lantern cat.
But the Red Lanterns are fueled by rage.
Right.
And Crypto's a happy dog.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's happy to just be playing the match. He's on the big stage. He's excited. And Dexstar is probably that representative, that sort of salty character that's on his team. That
there's never any salty people in
Dexstar's having a good time.
There are no salty people in MOBAs. Ever. I take offense to that.
We think this art is fantastic because it reminds you that the salt doesn't help you win. So just keep that in mind. This is intended to be a competitive mode of the game. The competitive mode for when you're not playing 5v5 competitive matches in ESL or Go4 or any of the outside tournaments that we have. When you're playing as an individual, this is the top competitive mode of the game, and when we roll it out there, teamwork plays a big part in whether or not you win or lose those matches.
Right.
Everyone's going to make mistakes, and that's just an important thing to keep in mind when rank goes live. People are probably going to have questions about reporting and CS. We can get to those in the Q&A.
Yeah, definitely.
But in general, CS is going to take a lot more interest in the reports that are being generated from rank to make sure that people are behaving the most sportsman way possible.
Yeah, we've been talking with Tom Shibley, Bulwark, for those of you who are in the forums. Bulwark is going to be taking a much more aggressive stance, and he and his staff actually, ranked tickets will be actually perceived higher priority than standard unranked tickets. That doesn't mean like they will, we won't be looking at your unranked tickets too. We're looking at all of them and making sure action is taken.
Yeah.
But we will be penalizing you a bit more strictly if you goof off or unfortunately make a ranked play experience unfun somehow. So
and negative to the other team or negative to your own team as
negative
well.
to any team. Yeah. You could be spilling, vile vitriol into the chat for everyone, and then everyone might take offense to that. So don't do that.
It's intended to be the competitive mode of the game, but at the same time, too, it's still a game. One team wins, one team loses.
Yep.
If you get that loss, that's part of the struggle to climb to the top.
Right.
And, everyone's starting off at the bottom, and people are going to lose along the way. Just learn the most you can from it and try harder next time.
Right. So draft, this kind of hits the general gist of ranked play, and that is it's draft, it's competitive, it's solo. Talk to us more about that. So what is the overview of ranked itself?
So as I mentioned, this mode is intended to be the competitive mode of the game for players that are not playing in pre-made 5v5 teams. And so we're not changing up anything with the current solo queue that we have.
Yep.
We're not changing up anything with the Go4 Cups or any of the ESL tournaments that we have taking place.
So if you want to win some money, obviously enter into the ESL tournaments. They go on every weekly, and we have our monthly tournament.
Yep.
At the end of every month. At the beginning of the next month.
And that's where the money's at, right here.
That's your 5v5 team play right there.
But in terms of the solo queue experience of playing ranked mode, we really wanted to add an extra level of strategy into the game, and that all comes down to the champion lobby.
Right.
So you get into the game, and these are draft mode games. You're going to, just like we have with the Go4 Cups that we run, we're going to have banning. Mm-hmm. There's a banning phase where each team gets to ban 2 champions, and that's basically whatever champion you want that neither your team or the other team can play. Afterwards, champions are drafted, and it alternates between teams. So you're going to see how the other team's team comp is coming together as they're making those champion picks. And that's really a huge level of additional strategy that comes into play as you're seeing these team comps come together for the game that's about to play out.
Right.
In blind pick, yeah, you know what your team is going to be, but you have no idea what the other team is going to be, and it's who knows what that matchup is going to be. When you get into draft mode, obviously counterpicking becomes a thing. Understanding how to counter a comp that's evolving on the other team becomes a thing. If one team's picking all marksmen, having a tank-heavy team or an assassin-heavy team is going to give you a big advantage there.
Right.
And so those are things that are going to come into play. A team that's heavily stacking power damage, Hawkgirl becomes a fantastic counter to that team.
Right.
And so these are things that while the pro players of our game that
They've
are playing at that
this.
highest level
Yeah.
have been taking that into account. Now that rank mode's available for everyone gets to participate in that.
Right, and now you too can draft at home with the ease of a cue. It's also important to note here that once a champion is picked during one of these sessions, they are picked. They cannot be drafted by the other
Yep.
team. So unlike blind pick, which can have mirror matches, you know, Supergirl versus Supergirl, you can't see that in draft mode at all.
Yeah, if she's not banned, there will be one Supergirl in the game.
Yep. So also there's going to be hasn't been noted here, but there's stricter matchmaking in ranked mode as well.
Yes.
So how does that work?
Matchmaking, our goal with our initial implementation of rank mode, and we're pretty confident in how this is working out so far, and obviously we'll be keeping an eye on it over time, but matchmaking in our initial implementation of rank mode is driven all based off of your rank, or 95% of it is driven based off your rank.
Right.
There are some exceptions when you get to the highest tier of play where your MMR is going to factor more into who you get matched with
Right.
at that point.
Matchmaking rating, by the way, is MMR. You know,
Yes,
that's that
matchmaking
invisible
rating.
number that dictates what we think your skill is, depending on how much you win or lose.
Your win-loss modified by a few other factors that are out there.
Yep.
But in general, transparency is the thing that we're going for here. And so you'll be able to look at your rank and make general assumptions about the other players that you're going to be matched against. If someone's at rank 13, there's going to be a window of ranks that can be put into a game with that player.
Right.
If there aren't enough players, then we can't make a match because that's not going to be a competitive match as far as ranked is concerned. And so for players at the bleeding edge of where the ranks are at, they're probably going to have to wait a little bit more time to find their matches. But everyone else will be at the lower end, and generally the matchmaking pool there is a little more relaxed.
Right. And that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. And
We
finally,
can go into more details
in a minute.
in a couple minutes.
We
when
have
pull up some
21
different screenshots.
ranks to get through.
We do have 21 ranks.
Which is a lot of ranks.
And a lot of sub-ranks to go
And a
along
lot
with
of
that, too.
sub-ranks. We'll explain that in a minute. It will make more sense once you see it.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have leaderboards.
Yes.
Boom. Now
We
you
are
two-
super excited about the leaderboards.
Now you two can see how much better you are than everyone else.
And we have two different types of leaderboards. We have
Leader boys.
leaderboys. Leaderboards.
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 So what?
Hey,
what-
I'm from New Jersey.
Hi. Oh, all right.
Sometimes you say things like they're meant to be said. I don't know. You say it like you say it.
What two types of leaderboards do we have before we hurt anyone else's feelings from New Jersey?
No, I actually am from New Jersey. So
Oh, okay.
there is that.
You're a Jersey boy.
Yeah.
Okay. He's one of you guys. It's okay.
Yes, two types of leaderboards.
Okay.
We have a friends list leaderboard where you will be ranked relative to everyone that's in your friends list.
Yep.
And so we just pull those people in, figure out what ranks they are, and we construct a leaderboard based on that. And then we have the regional leaderboard.
Right.
And that ranks the top 200 players on each region. The regions are North America, EU and Russia, and Brazil.
Cool.
Now, we're not ranking you across regions.
No.
It's only internal to that specific
Your
region.
Yeah.
Because there's really no way for us to do that because you're never playing matches against each other.
So if you're playing in South America, you will see South American rankings. You will not see North American rankings.
Yes,
Which makes
exactly.
sense. So if I'm playing on North America, however, and I'm friends with, like, I don't know, Agent X, Buddha Monk, Katy Perry, and Genre,
Yep.
right? I will see that I suck compared to Genre and Katy Perry, but I blow Agent X out of the water because that's how that works. Dunk.
Yes. That will be your own personalized experience for your own personal leaderboard.
Shots fired. Just putting that out there. Shots fired. So we talked about this before. Let's actually get into the ranking system as it stands.
Yeah,
'cause
let's
the
talk about
ranks-
the ranks.
The ranks, there are a lot of them. They're really cool. It's a neat system.
It's really the guts of the system.
It really is the guts of the system. So let's bring up those ranks right now. Boom. There they are.
All right.
Man, We got a lot of them.
We do.
So,
but they look really nice too.
They do look really nice. They look like a lot of characters I know.
Yes. Well, they're not like characters, actually. Like they're icons.
Ah. So
and they're logos specifically.
So it's not that I am, once I get into a rank, I am not the Deathstroke rank. I am not the Booster Gold rank. It is more representative of a group as a whole, right?
Yes. The characters and champions themselves represent those specific rank tiers.
Okay.
They're groupings of characters that exist in the DC universe.
Yeah.
And so Harlequin, as an example, is the representative of the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
And so the group that you're actually getting into when you reach rank 16 is the Suicide Squad.
You're a member of the Suicide Squad, yeah.
But Harlequin is there to give you some VO as you're progressing through those ranks to basically introduce you and welcome you to that rank when you finally get there. Mm-hmm. But we realized that we had all sorts of fantastic groupings that were already there in DC Comics that we could leverage as part of this system.
Right. So I guess we have stuff like Atlantis. We have stuff like the Green Lantern Corps. I see Red Lantern Corps.
Yep, the Sinestro Corps.
Sinestro Corps, yeah. Of course.
Superman's at there at rank 1. He's representing the House of L.
House of L, right?
Yeah. Batman represents the Gotham Knights. Joker's gang. I'm sure we'll have a webpage up there that kind of breaks all this stuff down for you and lists out what all the ranks are at some point in the future.
Yes, we will. As a matter of fact, we're working on that right now.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
you'll see that in the future, right before rank goes live. We'll have a very fundamental look at how rank works and basically sum up everything in the stream into one page. For those of you who don't want to watch us for an hour, but instead want to read for 15 minutes. So there you go.
I don't know who that would actually be.
Exactly. You're missing out all this fun, these fun jokes and these Jersey demeanor right now.
I know. I don't know. Wow, that was more like Christopher Walken.
I didn't try to do anything there, and it just ended up coming out, which is the worst part. So
hey, look at all the ranks!
Hey! So bronze, we have.
All right, yes. So we have 3 tiers of ranks.
Yes.
20 in total. They're broken up into these groupings. The reason that you're going to care about the various tiers is that each tier has a different number of sub-ranks associated with them. Mm-hmm. And so those are steps within the rank itself. And they each have different behaviors as to whether or not you can lose progress in them, or if you can go on winning streaks if you manage to win 2 or more matches in a row.
Okay. So what does bronze do then?
So
yeah,
bronze,
let's go upwards.
Yeah, well, that's where you're starting.
Yeah.
You're starting out as a Booster Maniac.
Oh. Of course.
Because you're in Booster Gold's fan club. Right
Booster
there.
Gold TM.
TM. Yeah, so that's your introduction to rank mode. We're going to have a lot of people that have never drafted in a game before.
Right.
We're going to have people that haven't gone into a rank mode and tried to play the game or a MOBA competitively going into our rank mode. And so basically we count those initial 5 ranks as effectively your onboarding into this experience. Okay. You don't lose progress for the first 5 ranks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you go in there and wins won't move you forward. Standardly, a win gives you 1 sub-rank.
Okay.
But if you lose, you don't lose. If you're losing, you're not losing progress. If you're winning, you're still gaining progress.
Right.
If you're on a winning streak, you can actually progress through those ranks pretty quickly.
Oh, good. And how does the winning streak work?
So if you've won more than 2 matches in a row,
yeah,
instead of getting 1 sub rank for a win, you'll get 2.
Oh, okay. So
and that keeps on going. The streak doesn't grow,
mm-hmm.
but you still keep getting 2 for each subsequent win.
Okay. So I can eventually just start knocking out 1 rank entirely just by winning once.
Yep.
Okay. Makes sense. And now, so I have to win. Normally, I would have to win two games at all in order to move out Booster Maniacs into whatever Deathstroke's group is.
I think that's the Contract Killers.
Oh, Contract Killers. All right, that makes sense. And then from there, go into Hawkgirl's group and so forth, so forth.
Yep.
And eventually, I will come out of the Suicide Squad and join Robin's group, which.
Yes, you will join the future leaders.
The future leaders.
At that point.
The future leaders of America. I feel like I'm joining like a college club at that point. Makes sense. I'm getting into the big leagues now, right?
Yeah, also known as Duffy's Army.
Duffy's Army.
So if you're stuck at rank 15,
blame Duffy.
You're there forever.
Blame Duffy.
So it's important to note that once you finally get into silver, losses will drop sub ranks.
Can I drop out of future leaders?
You cannot drop out of Duffy's Army.
I cannot. I'm stuck in Duffy's
Think of
Army.
it like some weird version of purgatory.
Oh god.
that you can never escape.
That's why Duffy did that. No, no, it makes perfect sense now.
You can't escape it without winning. If you win,
Right.
you'll actually make progress and you'll get out of there.
Yeah. So if I move into Aquaman's rank, which is what? Not Duffy's army?
The Lords of Atlantis.
Lords of Atlantis. Can I drop back into Duffy's army?
Yes, you can.
Oh.
Because you're in silver now.
Okay, yeah.
And so that's where progress can be lost when you lose your matches.
Yep.
But win streaks are still available. And so if
Okay.
you go on a long winning streak, you can actually still progress fairly quickly through these ranks.
So I'm going to need to win 3 times instead of 2 to get out of a
Yes.
rank. Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And finally, gold.
Gold.
Gold is... I know what happens in gold, and gold is difficult.
Yes. The climb gets real at gold.
The climb gets real, yeah.
There's no more win streaks at gold.
Oh, that's why. That's what I was waiting for. I was like,
So
I know what
to make
happens
all the
there.
way through it,
Yeah.
you win plus 20 matches overall.
Okay. And
So your wins over losses will at least need to be plus 20 to get there. Everyone's going to have to go through that. That's where we expect to see the top tier of play, all the way up until someone breaks through to the Justice League.
Boom.
First person to actually get there is going to be the #1 player in that region.
All right.
As more players progress through that climb, we'll have additional players at the Justice League tier,
Okay.
and they'll start playing against each other, sort of duking it out
Yep.
to establish the relative rankings that'll determine who's first, second, third, etc.
Right. And Justice League ranking will reveal your MMR for all to see.
Actually, no.
Oh, it's
It's you're sorted by your MMR,
Oh, sorted by
but
MMR,
you
yeah.
don't see it at that point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
you're
so-
just the #1 player on the server.
Oh, okay. That's right. We were just playing around that for a while.
Yep.
My bad. I'm thinking of an older iteration. My bad. Okay, so you'll see that I'm #1 over genre's #2, for example.
Yeah, most likely.
And then genre will beat me, and then I will know at
Unlikely.
that point. Unlikely, yes, but it will be hard.
He
for
could
him.
beat you.
He could. He's got to work for it. But then at
Let's say
that
he
point, his
beats you.
MMR
He beats you 50 times.
Okay.
Then he could take your #1 spot.
I see. Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
that makes perfect sense to me. So there you go.
Very likely scenarios that
Very
were
likely
that
scenario.
were
So there's the
playing
idea
out
of the rankings in brief and how the system as a whole works. Now we actually have a view of what each step of the ranking system looks like. So let's step through those one by one. So when I'm a new player and I'm just first getting into the system, I will see this.
All right, so we're basically going to call this section of the stream Celestrata's journey through ranked play.
I see that I've started playing ranked. I'm very excited about this.
Well, you haven't played it yet.
Oh,
You haven't
okay.
met the requirements yet in this screenshot.
I'm such a scrub.
So this is something that's very similar to what you're going to...
Wow, I suck.
Don't take it too personally. I think things are going to turn around for you really soon.
Oh, good.
So,
I can't wait.
so this is a very similar screen to what you guys are probably seeing on live right now, with the addition of 2 important things. There is a rank tab between achievements and amplifiers, and there's also a rank play button.
No, we just go back. I'm still a scrub. Yes. Yeah. So that giant rank play button right up there.
Now
That's
let's
my
say
name.
let's say you click that button.
Oh, okay.
Now you can click this button when you still don't meet the requirements to play ranked.
Right.
If you do that, you'll see the requirements right above the play ranked button, and they'll tell you what your progress is to unlocking enough champions and playing enough matches to actually be able to play ranked.
Right.
And you can still see the regional leaderboards at that point and your friends list leaderboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because your friends might have met the requirements, probably have. They're playing matches. You'll be able to see what their climb is like at that point. And then once you finally meet the requirements as well, then you can start playing.
Right. So
what we're looking at right now is a version of the UI where you are at rank 13.
you mean I've gotten to rank 13?
You've gotten to rank 13.
I just ground right now in the last 30 seconds up to rank 13.
When no one was looking, you
Magic.
somehow went into the future, played a lot of games, and got to rank 13.
Well, Professor Zoom's a good friend of mine. So
Nice work.
yeah.
It looks like you've only played one match, and you've won that match. So
But I got
maybe
to
there
rank
was some
13.
maybe there was some amount of cheating that was involved there.
I'm telling you, Professor Zoom, he's my boy. We're homies, right?
Welcome to the Red Lantern Corps. Couple things that are a little weird in this screenshot. This is obviously a screenshot from development.
Yeah. Not real.
The
Not real.
regional leaderboard is the regional top 1.
Yep.
Because Celestrata is the only person that's on that leaderboard right now. She is the top player on this imaginary region. And she's also her own friend
This imaginary region of my mind.
with no other friends.
Is this
And
like
so
this is my dreams at night, isn't it? You just stole those out of my dreams.
All right.
Yeah.
But this is what the rank tab is going to look like overall.
Yep.
In the next screenshot.
By the way, those little circles, those are my wins for that rank, right?
Yeah,
Ooh.
those are the sub ranks of the rank.
Yeah.
This is what a tooltip is going to look like. If you tooltip any of the icons that you see, we tell you what the rank name is, what rank number it is, and the two important things about the rank, just to remind you in case you've forgotten, that at silver, progress can be lost at that rank, and you can still get win streaks when you're in the silver tier.
That's nice.
And then we have a flavor quote at the bottom. That's Atrocitus talking about being angry, because that's kind of
his state of being.
Yeah, pretty much all the time. But, that's kind of setting the tone for the Red Lantern Corps in general.
Right.
And so he's happy to share that with you.
I'm happy to be filled with rage. I'm happy to join that corps. So afterwards, let's say I should get into a match. Boom. I'm now in a match.
All right.
It's exciting.
Don't be scared. This is a draft match.
I'm super scared. Everything's on this right now. I can't lose. I can't lose, Ryan.
Well, you're also in a game by yourself.
You know what? Sometimes you can figure out ways to lose that.
It's true.
It's called back surrender. But we see the normal ban pick phase. I think those of you who have been watching our streams, our competitive streams, you might recognize this screen. It might seem familiar to you, and now you too can touch it. You too can interact with it and play it outside of a custom match. Very cool. Very cool.
So as we mentioned previously, 2 bans for each team.
Yep.
And then the teams will pick their champions in alternating order, and the enemy team will always be visible to you.
Right.
And clearly, you can see your own team too.
Yeah, you'll be visible to the enemy team. Of course, you can also, if everyone owns the same champions, you can pick champions early and swap them between team members.
You can trade with it.
So that way, if you really want to grab Nightmare Robin up front, the top person can grab Nightmare Robin without being forced to play him.
Yep.
Very important. But of course, you need to have all the champions that you want to trade with unlocked. So the person who's picking the champion also needs to own that champion and then trade it over to you.
Yes.
Which is really doable if you bought an Infinite Crisis Gold Pack. Yeah, right? So, what happens if I win this match?
Let's see.
Wow! I've won!
You progress very, very quickly into
Buddy,
the future.
Zoom into this. Zoom in to this. I want to see this full screen so I can take it in. Right? Is it coming? Yeah. Oh!
All right.
Look at that.
So clearly, this is not what's going to happen if you win one match.
I thought you just need to win one match and then you just win it all, right?
No, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. Although you can see that your future self has played 151 matches, won 94 matches.
I'm very good at what I do.
You are very good at what you do. And also you can see what the actual leaderboards are going to look like once they get populated with actual players, even though these are test players.
Take that, rank test 126, and see, I've won Infinite Crisis.
There it is.
I've
Congratulations.
won. Yes!
You are number 1. You won the game.
Woo! Not even Rex can steal this back from me. It's mine now.
It's official. Celestrata number 1.
Thank you. I'd like to thank everyone in the community for this moment. I'd like to thank Ryan Bednar for enabling me to play the rank system. I just want to give a shout out to my cat Nocturne and my girlfriend Amy, because if I don't give a shout out to Amy, she'll kill me when I get home. And Nocturne might scratch my face. So questions. Oh, we have questions. It's question and answer time.
It is.
I am going to hold the belt for these.
Actually, just one little detail I want to point out really, really quick.
Yeah.
In case people are wondering specifically how the Justice League ranking would work relative to the other rankings, you can see in the regional top 42 here, obviously test stuff all over the place here, but we have 3 players that are at the Catwoman rank 8, and then we have 3 players that are at the Justice League rank at the very top. Okay. And you can see that they are listed 1, 2, 3 because those are the top 3 players, and based on their MMRs, that's how they stack up relative to each other.
Right. It says regional top 42 right now because there's only 42 people who have gotten into that grouping, but it will be up to 200.
Yes, it'll scale up to 200.
Scale up to 200. So yeah, well, it will eventually be up to 200 as people play the system and get through all the ranks.
Yes, exactly.
So, Slider Yua, I think. Will rank picks be available as profile icons?
Hopefully at some point in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to have rank picks for every single rank that we have, but we know that we want to have profile icons, we call them protector icons,
Yep.
Available for reaching really significant thresholds within the rank system.
Yep.
It's something that we wanted to get in for when we were going to launch the system. Unfortunately, we just didn't have the time to finish it off.
Yeah.
We'll be adding it in the future. One important thing to keep in mind about that is that we are tracking the max progress that you're making within the rank system. And so if you got all the way up to rank 5 or even rank 1, and then for whatever reason you have a run of bad luck and you drop back down a little bit, by the time we have the rewards put into the game, you'll get the reward for the highest tier that you've reached, or the highest rank that you've reached.
Okay.
Up to that point.
That seems super fair. Super fair. So there you go. Answer for you, Slider. Next question. Will there be 3 bans for ranked, or stick with 4 bans in total?
We are sticking with the 4 bans for now, simply because we don't have enough champions of each role for an entire role to be banned out.
Right.
If we went up to 6, then I'm pretty sure you could ban out all the marksmen, or get really, really close to it.
Some of the roles, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
Same
like some of
marksmen,
the roles aren't fully fleshed out yet. So once we get there, then we can introduce more bans.
It's kind of like
our
measuring stick. We would make sure that the role isn't being removed from the game for whatever reason.
Yep.
So, good question, though, Sai. Very good question.
Yeah, very good question.
Yeah. Will there be placements, or everyone starts bronze?
Everyone starts at bronze.
Everyone starts at Booster Maniacs, right?
Booster Maniacs, rank 20.
You got to go up. You got to earn.
Effectively, those are your placements.
Yeah.
It's going to feel a little bit different than that, but it'll achieve the same results. The matches we anticipate will get much more competitive as people start the grind through silver.
Right.
Bronze is basically get your feet wet, get comfortable with drafting, take your time to get to silver, however long that has to be. And then once you get to silver, you're going to start seeing people spread out between the various ranks, and that's when the matchmaking is going to take over and really sort of keep you focused around the rank that you're currently at.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the question, Shadow. Is my rank already set by the 20 matches that I've played?
No.
Yeah.
No, everyone will start at rank 20. They'll all be in the same pool. It's probably going to be madness for a little while.
Yeah.
Probably won't be.
The previous 20 matches. No, those won't set you up for anything. Those just get you into ranked.
Yeah, that's the requirement to get into ranked in the first place, because people are drafting at that point. There is a higher skill cap just because you're drafting in the first place.
Yeah.
And so while you have experience in the previous matches that you played through, it doesn't necessarily translate 1-to-1 into what your success is going to be in ranked mode when it goes out.
Because it's very different. It's a very different environment. So, good question. Will there be a way to see what ranks people are by looking at your friends list?
You're going to have to look at the leaderboard that's within the rank tab.
Okay.
We didn't have the time to set it up so that the ranks show up in both places. Your friends list is also pretty crowded right now with the amount of information that we have in there.
It's got like the Steam, it's got the notes, it's got
all the icons, like status of what queue you're in, all that stuff.
It's all
and so for the foreseeable future, the rank tab is where you're going to go to see where you stack up relative to your friends. But it works really, really well. We've been playtesting it a lot recently, and internally you can see as people are friends with each other and kind of keeping an eye on the regional internal leaderboard that we have. People get excited when they're on the top of that leaderboard.
Well, we were talking about Dan Park earlier.
Yeah, when they don't get a chance to participate in a playtest and their rank goes down because they didn't get a chance to keep up with the people that are at the top, they get a little upset about that. And you can see that they're highly motivated to go play some more, to climb that ladder and get back to the top.
Dan Park was full of so much salt earlier today. I'm going to point that out there. Danger Dan was all like, I missed a playtest, and I was #1, and now I'm not. And he was like, I was like, whoa. So I take that seriously.
I remember asking him, well, you realize you kind of need to win that match in order to keep that spot. He's like, I would have won.
I would have won. I'm just that good.
Obviously.
Yeah. I need to actually, like, I keep having meetings on top of our playtest, which is the worst part. I want to be in it on it. I just don't get to play as much as I would like. One day, though, I will be on top of that leaderboard. Not in my dreams. Bloblox, do you want to read this one? I've been reading all of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Have you considered not having all bans up front? Why did you decide against banning in between picks?
That's a very Dota sensibility.
It is.
It makes sense. That makes sense, yeah. But why did we do that?
We wanted the banning phase to be as straightforward as possible initially. We have a lot of players that are playing a MOBA for the first time, and so we wanted to keep things as simple as possible. if we were to eventually shift bans around so they'd happen in between picks, we would need to build some sort of UI to inform you when picks are coming up and when bans are coming up,
Right.
which Dota 2 does very, very well.
Very well, yeah.
And I personally really enjoy a bunch of the different modes that they have in that game.
Yeah.
We're starting out with the simplest system we can, just to kind of get it out there, see how ranking works, see how ranking works over time, managing the leaderboards, all that sort of stuff. And so in the future, I think we'll definitely experiment with more different setups for when banning happens relative to picks.
Yeah. Plus, Dota has like over 100 champions at this point.
They have
They have a
many
very large
champions.
champion pool, and we have the 40. So, at the same time, like they can spread those bans out like that, and they have the pool to handle it. So, cool. There you go. When will we be able to choose more colors than red and blue? I want to be green.
That's a great question.
That's a really good question. For a while we were color. I know
we were green at one point.
We had green.
A very, very long time.
We had
ago.
red and green, and that was terrible because of all the people who had color blindness for red and green.
Well, yeah. The challenge there is that there are a variety of different types of color blindness.
Yes.
And so we were trying to pick the base color scheme that works the best for most people. Yeah. But long term, we'd like to get more color customization options in there so that you can determine what the color of your health bar is going to be, what the color of your HUD is, all that sort of stuff.
Cursor,
Yeah, your cursor.
The cursor's been on the list forever. And that's been a big community request to get the cursor.
And everyone's got a different idea. Like we've messed around with different cursors internally. Everyone has a different idea of what's better or what they like more.
Right.
And so I think ultimately it's going to come down to us giving you guys more options about what you think is best relative to all the stuff that we have out there, all the various permutations there could be.
The power will be in your hands, protectors. Your hands. Actually, for a while we were also doing like we had the yellow, which is neutral. Everything that was neutral was yellow.
Yep.
We still have purple. Purple is corrupted or
that's like
weird.
Angry neutral.
The angry neutral, something like Gaslight Botman, for example.
Evil neutral.
Purple. He's evil.
I guess evil.
Yeah, you'll see. That was all a bunch of ideas that we had floating around for a while. So.
All right. GST Gunner.
Yeah.
He asks, does rank have duo queue at all, or is it strictly solo queue for everyone? The answer there is that it's strictly solo queue for everyone. We've discussed the possibilities of having duo queues, having queues that are bigger than duos, having full team queues. For now, since it's still early on in the system, it hasn't even gone live yet.
Yeah. We
want ranked to be representative of your individual skill. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. We want rank to be representative of your individual skill in the best way it can be. And so by not allowing duo queues, there are a couple other benefits that we get from that as well. But first off, we know that you're winning or losing based off of your participation in the match. It's not based off of you had a friend that was able to carry you.
You were the anchor, and he was carrying that weight, right?
Yeah, and there's lots of weird stuff that comes up with that where it makes matchmaking more complicated, because if people are duo queuing, then we have to assume that they're communicating more with each other than the average. An average two people within a group of five is gonna be, because hey, they're friends. They decided to play together. And so we need to take that into account and figure out, do we match only duo queues with other duo queues, and are all duo queues created equal? Because players now have motivations to hop on a friend's account and help someone out, because that can have a heavy impact on how a match plays out.
Right.
And so we're just hoping to avoid all of that and keep the system as simple as possible initially.
Fun fact, actually, our data analytics guys were looking at our win-loss records and how matchmaking was working a while back. And at the time, Sean Connor and AC Boyce, the two of our DA guys, had noticed that the biggest reason of why you win is if you're grouped. And that's because you probably have voice chat and you're just plowing through everyone because you have better communication than them. Yeah, it's actually not due to player skill, it's due to grouping. Which is
and you're getting a chance to self-select at least part of the team that you're playing with.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing for any game to deal with, and it's something that we think that solo queue only really does make the rank mode experience for the average player a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how many games do you have to win to get in Gold 1 Superman to get into Justice League tier?
If you just reached Gold 1, you would need to win 4 games.
This many. this many games.
Yep. 4 games total to get to Justice League tier.
Yeah, just like the other ranks in gold. Now for all of gold, it's like 20, right, or something like that. 20 wins.
Yeah. Without losing. 20 total.
Yeah.
Without losing.
Yeah, so it's plus 20 technically. You know.
Yes.
Last question. Sai. I can never say Sai's name, unfortunately. That hurts me because I talk with her frequently.
Saisuchu?
Saisuchu? Yeah. I just say Sai in all of my meetings whenever I mention her. I'm like, well, Sai's going to stream. Yeah. Smile. Will there be ranked season rewards for everyone, like a specific costume that only ranked people get?
We haven't determined what the rewards for the end of the season will be.
Yeah.
We haven't determined when the end of the season is actually going to be. Like, that's still kind of up in the air, too.
Right.
But we know people that are playing the game competitively expect rewards at the end of the season. We're going to do whatever is possible within our capabilities to give you guys the best rewards for playing ranked.
Right.
As soon as we know when the season is going to officially close out, we'll message that to you. But for now, we're kind of just rolling it out, and we're going to see how it plays out over time, and then kind of make a call from there.
Yeah. But is that the last question period, or is this like last question from Sai? Oh, we can actually, it was scheduled for an hour. We can go a little further. Oh, no. We're good. We got like 15 more minutes if we want to kick back for a few more questions.
Sure.
If you have the time, sir. Mr. Hutton,
do
you have the time as well, Mr. Buddy the Hands? I don't know if Buddy heard me asking if he has the time. Oh, okay. Yeah. But you do have the time. You have the time.
I was trying to keep on schedule. Sorry.
You are the man. Thank you for keeping us on schedule. Hunter Steve, any in-game UI changes coming soon? I can't pronounce words in order.
Yeah, no, it's contagious.
Yeah, I've been
sorry about that.
Need a boys.
Need a boys.
Yeah. I don't know. Are there any in-game UI changes coming anytime soon?
Yes, that is what we're working on next. Now that we've gotten through ranked mode, and so we know that the HUD has lots of areas that it can be improved. We put all the work to get through ranked.
Yep.
We're ready to set that loose into the wild and then shift our focus over to the in-game HUD and a few other UIs that are within the game as well.
Yep. We told you guys it was on our mind,
yep.
And we weren't kidding when we said that.
We were not.
We were queuing it up. It's all about order of work, right? Ranked was first, and now that's coming up next. So boom. Are people descending in the ranks by not playing for a given period of time?
No, we do not have. What's that called?
Inactivity, kind of like.
Yeah, inactivity penalties.
Yeah.
We don't have any of those.
No.
That might be something that we have to add in over time if it ends up becoming a problem over the course of multiple months, throughout half a year or whatever that extended period of time is. But we don't have that initially.
We might add it in if we feel as though more people need to be in Duffy's army. So we'll just stick you back in Duffy's army,
or we'll make it opt-in.
Opt-in.
Yeah, you can elect to just stay in Duffy's army
and then
all
never
the time, never leave.
That'd be the best option on the board. Duffy would be so happy. Next question. Can Infinite Crisis be integrated with Cursed Voice like other MOBAs? Represent! I'm assuming, Ichido, you said it like that. Yeah, that's something we were looking into for a period of time.
Yeah, you would know more about that than I
I do. We were talking with Curse about doing something like that. Obviously, it takes integration work from your guys' end. It takes marketing work from our end to make sure all the agreements are signed. Nothing too certain for the future. It's something that is on our mind, though. Right now, our best recommendation, if you want to use voice, we have Steam Voice now. You know, if you have people to your Steam friends list, just jam them into a chat room, jump on Steam Voice. It works really well. It uses the Skype codec. So that's always a good alternative. Obviously, there's still other alternatives, Ventrilo, TeamSpeak, whatever floats your boat. I know some people really like Curse Voice, and people have been jumping onto that as of late, even though it's not fully integrated into the game. So there you go. Is Coast City going to be the only ranked map?
For the foreseeable future, yes.
Can we? Here's a question for me, I guess. Can we apply ranked to any one of our maps?
Can we do it?
Yeah.
And is it going to be a great experience for someone?
Right.
Those are really the two questions.
Yeah.
We're not far away from being able to have multiple rank queues, but there are obviously population issues that
It was less about that. It's more like we have the capability, should we foresee in the future, to do such a thing.
Well, a lot of the UI that we built up around our current implementation of ranked assumes that we only have one ranked queue.
I see. Yeah.
And so it streamlines the overall presentation of the UI. You can see in the rank tab, like, hey, there's not a lot of confusion there. It's pretty easy to see how the leaderboards are working, where you stand relative to everyone else. There would definitely be a significant amount of work that we would have to do on the back end to make that now work for other ranked queues. We sort of assume that we're going to be on Coast City for a long time, and we're gonna embrace that.
Well, because we always said Coast City is our map, and we mean that.
That's our map, and we're making it our competitive map as well.
Right.
And so in committing to that, we built all of the UIs and the user flow around the fact that you hit play ranked and you go into the Coast City ranked queue. So as soon as we add a secondary queue, then we need to add all sorts of drop downs and filters, make sure that we're managing all the stats that are out there, make sure that we're handling all the leaderboards. There's a lot of additional work that you wouldn't necessarily think of when you know that we've done ranked Gotham Heights weekends in the past.
Yeah.
But now that we've worked more on the end user side of kind of how it feels to play ranked and get good feedback about it, there's a lot more considerations there.
Right, there's a lot more to the system now than there used to be in the past, right?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Last Aguirre, will there be a new penalty system for AFKs and reported players in ranked?
Yes.
Yes.
Largely this is built on old penalty systems that we had, but we knew that ranked was going out there. People that AFK or people that are getting reported in ranked are clearly having it's never good for anyone to AFK or anyone to be reported.
Type,
but the stakes are higher when you're playing ranked. It's as simple as that. And so we took a look at all the systems that we have in place for detecting people that are going AFK or rage quitting or being bad teammates, just in general. And we modified our ability to track players, the way that we're tracking them and how aggressive we are about tracking them, and closed a bunch of loopholes that would give you the opportunity to disconnect for half a game and then come back and AFK for a quarter and still maybe dodge some of the penalties that you would get depending on the order that you did those things. And so we took an overall look at that and improved a bunch of those systems. We don't want to go into specifics about how we've improved them, but they are there and they're much better now. And as Serafina mentioned earlier, Tom Shibley, IC Bulwark,
and his crew, all those guys back there.
We have special flags that will be sent to them when you report someone from a ranked match. That will send that report in as a higher priority report, and they're going to take a harder look at it.
So they might be a little bit meaner if you're doing bad things in ranked.
Yeah, and the penalties, we have a full range of penalties. We can ban you in the worst case, although we don't want to do that.
We don't do that
initially.
Yeah.
But we can take away rank progress as well. And so while you might you might not get banned, it's going to hurt your ability to climb the ladder.
You might get stuck in Duffy's army.
Yeah, you might be in Duffy's army for a long time because there's some penalties that we applied to your account that are going to make you kind of a sad person
for a while.
Sad panda for a while. Yeah.
Don't be a sad panda. Will we get anytime soon view match history for us and our friends? That takes a lot of work. I know the answer to that question. That takes everyone's like, that's easy. No. Surprisingly enough, it is not easy. It needs UI work, it needs engineering work, and it needs all that stuff. We are tracking stats though, so whenever we do it, I know that we are tracking what's going on.
Yep, there's a lot of data that we're collecting behind the scenes to actually make it so that you can replay a game in our client is the big challenge there.
Yeah.
And that's just a lot of work. We'd love to have it.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of work.
It's like a bunch of engineers sitting around and just working for months, of types of work. So that's going to be like one of those big systems that we would eventually implement. Like ranked is a big system. Overhauling the UI is a big system. So like that would be another big system, which would take a lot of time.
Obviously, people are still going to be able to stream on Twitch if they want. Also, Steam broadcasts are something that are definitely worth checking out because I've only messed around with them a little bit, but the system's incredibly easy to use, and it basically captures your entire play experience as you're going through a game, and then afterwards you hit save, and all of a sudden you have a video that's on Steam that you can share with people.
Which is pretty awesome.
And so that's another option that's out there. I know it's a little bit more work and it's outside of the game, but it's definitely something available to you.
Before I go to the next question, which is a very important question, it actually ties into this.
Okay.
For those of you who are running community events or tournaments like that, we should note that we are offering your use of the ViewMatch client in select circumstances, such as Katy Perry's tournament. Boom, boom. Look at that. Was that a perfect tie-in or what?
That was nice.
That was pretty awesome. That's the Coast City.
Good segue.
It's the Coast City Classic. You can sign up now. It's in the general discussion forums at infinitecrisis.com/forums. Go look for it. Go sign up. It's like Ron Burgundy, Katy Perry, a whole bunch of other people, I believe. If I get that wrong, Katie, let me know. But I don't think I have. So
yeah, the last tournament those guys put together was fantastic.
It's different. It's sort of a different group, semi-different group, but it's still pretty much like some of the same players.
Some of the same.
Some of the same players, yeah, coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys are awesome and totally do it. But if you have a tournament in mind that you want to run, even if it's on a map that's not Coast City, because we're actually helping out the Gotham Heights crew with the Gotham Heights League, please let us know. Contact myself. PM me on the forums, PM Mephisto on the forums, and one of us will get you in contact with the right people here at Turbine and get you access to the ViewMatch client for your special event or occasion or whatever you are sort of planning in your mind for a community happening. No, we can't give it to you so you can go spy on all your friends. We won't be doing that. Nepo Marks asks, when are leaderboards for champion levels and protector levels coming? I gotta show off my 25 diamond champ somehow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, that is hardcore, Nepo. That is hardcore.
Yeah. We need to do something for you. I'll just say that right here on the stream. We got to get on that.
You're putting me to the gears here. I see.
I feel like we need maybe like a diamond form of the counter picker achievement.
That'd be cool, actually.
Like 20 champions to diamond tier.
Diamond tier, and then that becomes like its own icon.
Yeah, I don't know, like whatever Napa wants.
Whatever Nap wants. Whatever Nap wants, Nap gets.
No, we have to do something for that because clearly, like, people are getting there, and it's an incredible achievement. And yeah,
I think
we'll get on
achievement
that.
worthy. That's achievement worthy. Yeah,
it is. It is.
I like
literally that. Achievement worthy.
Yeah. What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Baby, don't hurt me.
Oh no.
No more. When will all the modes be unlocked?
I don't know. When do you think?
When do I know all the modes will unlock?
When does Buddy think?
Buddy, when do you think all the modes will unlock?
The Turbine soon.
Turbine soon. There. Thank you.
That's a big soon.
Yeah, that's a big soon. We gotta make sure all the queues on all the maps are solid. And of course, as we said before, Coast City is our main focus. Coast City is our competitive map. Coast City is the map where we love, and what makes Infinite Crisis different. So the other modes we love too, but we love Coast City the most. We are very selective parents.
But we're honest.
We're honest parents.
We give direct and honest feedback.
We love this map. This map is it.
We love you. We do not love your sister.
Yeah, /male. Is win-loss the only factor to determine your rank?
Yes.
All right.
It all comes down to that. Well, win streaks factor into that as well, because those are going to progress you through multiple ranks if you're on one.
Take a bit of a... We have 5 minutes left, guys, by the way. 5 minutes.
Yeah, at the end of the day, as I mentioned previously, it's all about transparency.
Yeah.
You have your rank, you know what it is. As you get into the deeper ranks, you're going to be matched with a more selective pool of people that are around the rank that you're at.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going to work.
Yeah. Mr. Jin asks, when will Mega Rod be deleted? Someone is not a big Barda fan. Someone does not like Big Barda at all.
But it's so OP in the jungle. Mr. Jin's saying that all the time. He's like, I don't know. I saw him stream a couple times.
Yeah.
He's like, first item Mega Rod. Always.
Always?
Yeah, it's like, it's weird. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, maybe someone else got his account, and they were like, I'm going to pose this question to, like, get rid of Mr. Jin's favorite item.
I don't know. Could be.
Splash damage, OP.
We better
OP.
report it to Twitch for further consideration.
Minimal scaling on health?
Yeah.
Fantastic. No extra damage to your primary target? Of course you're going to love that.
Fantastic. If you want Mega Rod to be deleted, by the way, please tell Danger Dan. Visit Danger Dan's thread on the box of unloved toys and make him read it.
We actually have some buffs that are coming for Mega Rod.
That's true.
Probably needs more buffs, but we'll see.
We'll see. There's a lot of discussion on it right now. There's a lot of discussion in the forums. Please give us your feedback.
It's such a controversial item.
It's controversial.
Great job, Mega Rod.
Why Mega Rod?
I feel like people really want it to be good. It might not be that good.
Do they?
But maybe we can make it really good.
Maybe we should buff Suicide a little bit more.
Oh, we could do that.
I love Pseudo
After the
Sorrows.
Supergirl buffs.
I mean, after Azariel just appeared in a Batman Arkham Knight trailer, why not?
I know.
I know, right? And it was Azariel, right? That was Azariel.
Isn't it pronounced Azrael?
Azrael?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was that guy, though.
It was
totally
that guy.
was that guy.
I looked down, I'm like, that's the Pseudo Sorrows. I know that guy. Crying BB. You read this. I'm laughing too much.
All right.
I'm having too much of a good time.
Crying BB asks, will the first week of Ranked be very unbalanced in having pro players and brand new players in the beginning games due to them being in the same ranked? Or is something implemented to prevent this? So, honest answer to your question right here, it's going to be a little bit all over the place for that first week. And it really comes down to players sort of seeding themselves within those bronze tier ranks. It's going to be crazy as you get less experienced players in with pro players.
Right.
But the reality is those pro players are probably going to progress out of those ranks fairly quickly.
Yes.
Yes, they might get some unlucky games where they lose for whatever reason, but they're going to get through it. And the pro players are pros for a reason.
Yeah. They play Infinite Crisis a lot, too.
Yeah, like even when we didn't have a rank queue, going up against a group of pro players, or even an individual pro player, was a big skill disparity in any game they were playing in.
Yeah.
And so those guys are going to progress out through those early ranks pretty quickly. I say give it, maybe even within the first weekend, you're going to start to see them start to climb into silver pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have less experienced players spending a longer time in bronze. And then you're going to have players that are semi-pro or play the game a lot, but haven't necessarily played it particularly competitively up to this point, that are going to be in the middle.
Yep.
And then over time, that's all going to get a lot better.
Yep.
And so for the first week or so, it's going to be a little bit of a rocky road, but if you stick with it, I think you'll see that everyone starts to spread out to where they should be.
I mean, to look at it another way, Crying, I know that you might be concerned about this, but it's the same if we would use a system that set up ranked matches. Like, you're preceding like 10 matches. In those preceded 10, it's all over the place. It's anyone who's preceding.
Especially so it's important to keep in mind here, we have a pool of players that we don't have any data on from them playing ranked within the current state of the game.
Right.
Like we've had ranked weekends in the past before. We've turned on ranked queues for short periods of time. But we have to assume that we don't have any information about players or much information about players and how they're going to perform in ranked.
Right.
And so imagine you were dropped into any game where that's the case, and the developers don't have any idea of who's going to be better than who.
Yep.
Those initial seeding matches are basically going to be a giant pool of players, some that are higher skill level, some that are less or have less experience for whatever reason.
Yep.
They kind of need to play against each other. They need to start winning against each other and losing to each other to sort of sort that out.
Yep.
And that's where we're at for this first week.
Yep, and that's what's going to be happening. So it would happen no matter what. This is the last
But stick with it. It will get better over time.
Yeah. Last question. Most important question of the stream, obviously. No, buddy. What? Kuma! Shout out to Buddy. Buddy, what do you have to say about that?
Hey, Kuma.
And there it is.
Boom!
There it is.
That is the rank stream for today, guys. Thanks for joining us. Shout outs to Buddy. Shout outs to you in chat. Shout outs to Ryan Bednar for joining us today.
Shout outs to Serafina.
Thank you. Thank you very much, good sir. Good to be here with you as always.
Way to see you at number 1. We always knew you'd get there.
Yep. So this is now mine. As we've said before, guys, if you like today's stream, make sure to share it out. It's going to be on YouTube later today. It's going to be on Twitch as well. We're going to update the front page of the website so it actually has it as well.
All right.
A lot of places.
That's exciting.
If you want to comment on this, join us in the forums, infinitecrisis.com/forums, or join us on social media. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/infinitecrisis.
We're pretty much everywhere.
We're on twitter.com. Where?
All over the place.
All over the place?
All over the place.
Twitter.com/infinitecrisis. You know what's up next?
What's up next?
Esports manager Nick Ranish punishing some scrubs.
Oh, wow.
Or being punished, as the case sometimes is.
Well, this is a very interesting segue because actually one of the things to mention again at the end for people that join us late, Ranked is going live May 8th and will be live from that point forward with the exception of that Monday.
Yep.
Maybe a little time after, I don't know, but for the most part, we're turning it on.
Yes.
And at that point, Nick will be able to punish scrubs in Ranked.
Or you could punish Nick in Ranked.
Or he can get his butt handed to him. And hey, we'll stream it one way or the other. There you go.
Are you gonna play ranked?
Oh yeah.
I'll play ranked too. I'll jump in. I'll get my butt kicked. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I will get the championship belt for real in Reigns. And it's coming for you, Katy Perry. I'm coming for you. And so up next, Nick Ranch. Stick around, watch him. Until next time, good luck in the trials.
All right.
Stuff.
Thanks for coming out, everyone.
You're clear.
All will be order. All will be harmony. All